What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video, and it's that time of the week where we look behind the curtain and we take a glimpse to see how DSP Gaming and DSP React is doing from a perspective of their finances. We do a weekly review of the tips and super chats, and then we do a comparison year over year. So my apologies, I wasn't available last week to do the financial audit, but I'll make sure to touch a little bit on it this week. So of course, the work week started on July 14th and extended through July 19th. So Phil had 6 days of gaming and opportunity to promote and provide meaningful content. So as you can see here by the numbers, on September 19th, Phil pulled in a whopping $152 for tips. On the 18th, he pulled in $79. On the 17th, he pulled in $123. On the 16th, he pulled in $246. On the 15th, he pulled in $86. And on the 14th, he pulled in $124. So support's been pretty slow. From the tips perspective, the only day he had that he did pretty well was actually on the 16th of July, and that was when he did his DSP React content, where Dan the Man came in and dropped a $100 donation and got the party started. So I guess he wanted to make sure that DSP continued doing his one series a week on DSP Reacts, and I guess he was hoping that Phil doesn't kill the channel. So anyway, Phil pulled in for the work week a total of $810, which that's not good. That's pretty bad. I've been noticing a trend on Phil that he's dropped under $1,000 tips for the last several weeks, and that's partly due because he decided to trash his 3 RPG games that no one would support it. And of course, when you hear someone trash a game, why would you want to support them, especially if they're kind of giving a half-ass effort during those playthroughs? So the only thing he has that's providing any real support or money is Street Fighter, and as we can see, Jag Raxter and Game Checker, their funds have just dried up and dwindled, so they haven't been able to provide that support that they initially provided when Street Fighter came out. So for the same period of the work week, we want to take a look at these super chats. You can see that Phil pulled in $334 for super chats for the work week, which again is low. I'm not sure what's going on. I know he's been harping lately on memberships and super chats because they've been extremely low, and that could just be because, of course, he primarily begs for tips, and when he does that, I guess he conditions his dents to feel like they need the tip versus super chat and membership. Phil, of course, feels entitled. He feels that he should receive all forms of support, both tips, super chats, and memberships, and it doesn't work that way. Most people can support in one way, but not in 2 or 3. Maybe occasionally you get that one dent that decides they want to do membership, super chats, and tips, but it's a rarity. And as you can see here from the numbers, support has just dwindled. So for the work week, he pulled in a total of $1,144. Now again, these are just tips and super chats, both for DSP Gaming and DSP Reacts. I'm not looking at the memberships or ad revenue or any of those things, just tips and super chats. So $1,114 is, for 6 days a week, that's less than $200 in support. And for Phil, that's a bit disastrous here. So he may have had to have some ham sandwiches on his day off, or at least cut back the DoorDash, from 3 to maybe 1 for his day off. Now, for the prior work week, which was from July 7th through the 12th, of course, he had 6 days. He pulled in $760 in tips, and then in super chats, he pulled in $337 for a grand total of $1,097. Now, he had a slight bump this week of about $50, but it's pretty comparable, and these are his numbers. I mean, these were the numbers Phil was pulling in early this year, and as you're going to see when I do the comparison from 2023 to 2022, you can see that his negatives are back up. I mean, he was dropping them once Street Fighter came, and he's been playing that, but of course, since the support's been drying up, though that percentage is increasing. Okay, so let's look at our totals for 2023 so far, which spanned from 1/1/2023 all the way up to the last streaming day, which was 7/19/2023. And as you can see here, he pulled in $32,973 in tips. Now you compare that to the previous year for that same time period, he pulled in $36,838. Now that's a difference of negative 10.5%. So he's earned negative 10.5% year over year, comparing it from 2023 to 2022. So that's not good. When you're a business like Phil, you expect your income to rise, not actually drop. And then if we look at the super chats, you can see that he's pulled in $12,730 for 2023. And then for 2022, for that same time period, he's pulled in $15,172 for a negative 16.10%. So yeah, that increase, I mean, he was down to the single digits initially for tips, you know, being off from his income, and that's starting to increase again. And then super chats is roughly about the same. I think he was at, the last time I did this, he was at 18 or 19%, so that's dropped a little bit. Now if we take a look at the grand total for 2023, Phil has managed to pull in $45,703. And for that same period in 2022, Phil pulled in $52,010 for a difference of 13.30%, negative 13.3%. So Phil has some catching up to do, and time's running out. I mean, we're almost in August, so that leaves August, September, October, November. That leaves him roughly 5 months to try to get these numbers on par for 2020, you know, comparing them to 2022. And you guys know, I think the primary reason for this for Phil is, well, one, his channel, DSP Gaming, is dying, but it was a self-inflicted wound when he decided to carve out his content and move it over to a separate channel. I mean, he's not offering anything new that he wasn't offering when he simply just had DSP Gaming, and all he's doing is just watering down his initial content, his initial channel. So he's known for being a streamer of games, and now he's trying to be everything. He's trying to be a react content, a tier maker, and it's just not working out. So I think that's a big piece here. That's the reason why he's been struggling this year with support. It'd be interesting to see his memberships and ad revenue. I know his ad revenue's dropped because we took a look at his monthly views, and they've cratered for both channels. It's like under 600K for both channels, and that's just completely horrible. So I'm assuming, or can easily assume, that ad revenue has dropped year over year. So he's made less in ad revenue from 2023 to 2022. And then memberships have gone up a bit, but of course it just fluctuates. Some months he has 500 members, some months he has 400 members, sometimes he gets up to 800. But of course, I guess if you average it out for the year, you know, it doesn't really amount to much difference. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.